The Cluckin Bell Farm Raid is a favorite among GTA players, as it's incredibly easy, it pays $500,000 guaranteed every single time you do it, and absolutely anyone can access this heist within their first hour of GTA Online. But today's video isn't just about making money as a newbie, it's about doing the Cluckin Bell Farm Raid as quickly and efficiently as humanly possible. And I bet some of you watching this video right now still can't get this done in under an hour, so today we're gonna fix that. And to be honest, forget 1 hour, because I'm about to show you how you can do this heist start to finish in 40 minutes or less, and you only need 2 things to get started. First, what you'll need is an HSW upgraded Hakuchou drag bike that's going to be set as your personal vehicle. Then for item number 2, you're going to need a property that's really close to the police station where Vincent gives you the missions. There are multiple options here. You can have either the Little Soul Agency or the Vespucci Canals Agency, both of which are priced at around $2 million. Or you can purchase the Del Perro Heights apartment number 4, which lets you spawn right next to the police station. It's just a couple blocks down the road. If you already have the Little Soul Agency though, use that. There's no point in trading it in for the Vespucci Canals Agency, even though that one is a little bit closer to Vincent's station. Alright, for the very first prep mission, Slush Fund, we're going to set our spawn location to the agency and make sure that our Hakuchou drag is parked on the road in front of us. Then we're going to drive to the police station and start the mission. I like to use this path here to get to location A, as it's a bit faster than the default GPS route. Then I just shoot the 2 guys next to the crates and break into the building as fast as possible so I don't get bogged down in an extended firefight. Then what I do is I'll kill these guys and throw a sticky bomb on the wall right behind them, and when the 3rd guy comes in, I can do this. You can also just shoot him, but bombing him is way cooler. Then we need to approach Site B, but instead of taking the main gate through this alley on the side, you can use your grenade launcher to blow up this truck, and that will send all the rats running out of their hidey holes, and you can sneak into the building without having to kill a whole bunch of them. Drop the 2 guys in here, plant another sticky on the wall, and repeat the process we went through in Site A. Then get outside, get back on your bike, and race home to Vincent's lockup to complete the mission. Job done. This one shouldn't take you any more than 5 minutes. Then for breaking and entering, we're going to visit the pier first, because that way we won't have to backtrack from the Terabyte when Vincent asks us to get to the train. If you go to the Terabyte first, you'll end up traveling more distance total, since you'll then have to double back to the pier before you can visit the rail yard. So just go to the pier, grab the laptop, and then the hacking device from the Terabyte. As always, you can follow this path to get to the pier ASAP. Then once you're in the yellow square, simply pull out your compact rifle or AP pistol or whatever you have equipped and fire a few shots into the air. What this is going to do is trigger the NPC flight response, but your target in particular will stand out because he's marked in red on the minimap. Using this trick, we can immediately find out the laptop's location. No more walking around slowly and searching each shop one by one. Just a few shots into the air and the target will reveal himself in no time. Then you'll have to drive to the Terabyte, and it's always going to be in one of these 3 locations that you could see. Next to the salvage yard, near Benny's, or in this parking space that's right next to the recycling plant. In my case, it's spawned next to the salvage yard, and there's a really easy way to deal with the drone waves that keep spawning from the Terabyte's rooftop. Simply pull out your grenade launcher and aim at the very top edge of the roof, and as soon as a new wave spawns, fire a grenade at that edge. This will have enough of a blast radius to actually kill the entire wave of drones with 1 shot, and you can simply repeat this process until all the waves are dead. Then go inside, grab your hacking device, and follow this exact path that I'm showing, because Vincent keeps yapping for a whole long while before he gives you the GPS coordinates. You don't need to wait on him, and your goal is to enter through these train tracks right here, which will place you right in front of the train engine that you're going to steal. You can choose to dismount and fight the enemies, but I like to pull out my compact grenade launcher once again and blow up the nearby vehicles. If I don't get a key drop, I then go deeper and kill this guy up top and a few more guards who are hiding right near these flatbed trailers. You can also use your vigilante here to clear out the area faster instead of your Hakuchou drag bike, but I personally don't have any trouble with these guards even if I'm on foot, and the drag is slightly faster for the rest of the mission, so overall I feel it's the smarter choice here. But if you just can't stay alive because you take too much damage, then just use the vigilante for these setups. Once you have your key for the train engine though, just step inside and hold down the accelerator. Every time you drive past the junction and drive to a junction, you'll need to use the hacking device to switch the signal lights, otherwise the train's emergency brakes will slow you down until it stops and you'll fail the mission. mission. This part is honestly pretty straightforward once you kind of figure it out, quite literally, because all you have to do is press forward and trigger the hacking device whenever you're in a red circle. Now, once that mission is completed, it's time for prep number 3, which is concealed weapons. And just like with Kaio and the Oscar Guzman Flies Again storyline, in this heist here, we're also going to need unmarked weapons if we want to keep the cartels from sniffing out our secret operation. And Vincent gives you 3 separate GPS coordinates and options here. Location A is the closest one, and it has the Marabunta Grande loadout, which consists of a compact rifle and combat pistol, along with light armor. Location B has a heavy rifle and tactical SMG, along with medium grade armor. And finally, there's location C up at the Sandy Shores airfield, which has an MG and an AP pistol and combat shotgun, along with heavy armor. Obviously, C is the best if you're going for aggressive and want maximum firepower and protection, but honestly, I found out that location A is just way better if you're trying to save time, since it's the closest to you, and you rarely need to shoot anyone if you're doing the finale with stealth, which is also the easiest way to do the finale. And even if you're going aggressive, the Marabunta Grande loadout is more than adequate enough to carry you through, as the compact rifle is surprisingly good in those close quarter situations with its 100 round drum magazine and the tiny profile, which means you can run faster and bring up your sights quicker whenever an enemy pops up in front of you to target you. So yeah, we're going with location A, as speed is of utmost importance in this run. Simply drive up to the neighborhood, park your bike in the middle of these 3 cars, and start shooting. As long as you spam your snacks and armor, you will not die. Trust me there. The weapons will always be behind this fence on this bench right here, and then I usually find the gear in the trunk of the car that's parked the furthest away, so it's the 3rd one right over here. If you don't find it in this car though, just search the other 2, but start with the outermost car and work your way inward. Then simply drive back to the lockup and text Vincent to confirm your loadout. For our getaway vehicle, we're once again going to location A, and for this, we're going to do some off-roading. Simply drive using the regular GPS path that's given to you right up until you reach this hill, then head straight down while avoiding the trees, and you'll find an old gas station directly on your left. This is where the vehicle is being stored, and you don't have to fight the whole base to secure it. Simply shoot the fuse box on the side of the garage, kill this one enemy, run inside, grab the car, and drive away. Location A always gives you a declassy muscle car or the Moonbeam custom minivan. I prefer the van as it's honestly way more controllable on the train tracks, and we're going to use the tracks to speed up our getaway later in the finale. But right now, with this crappy tulip that I got, I'm having a pretty hard time keeping it on the track, as it just wants to bounce all over the place. The Marabunta boys have slammed this thing lower than an earthworm's nutsack, so there's absolutely zero travel in the suspension, and if I do so much as sneeze while driving, it will fly off the rails and into a tree. But the good news here is that we don't need it for very long, because I'll show you how to use your personal vehicle, like the Hakucho Drag, in the finale. But before we get there, there's just one more prep mission left, and it's called Disorganized Crime. There are 3 phases to this. First, you find 2 Cluckin Bell vans and hijack them to get the location of the warehouse. In phase 2, you infiltrate the warehouse and try to get out with the key card without blowing your cover. Phase 3, you drive a flatbed truck to Vincent's lockup, and if you're detected, instead of a flatbed truck, you'll get a bunch of cartel thugs on your tail, and it's actually faster than driving the flatbed 2.5 miles to Vincent's lockup. But then the finale also becomes harder than it needs to be, because we'll have to stop every 5 to 10 seconds to shoot someone. If you do get the aggressive approach, or you just want to do it to have fun, you could still do it in roughly the same amount of time as the stealth approach, but I honestly just prefer stealth overall, as it just means less things can go wrong and your environment is more controlled and you have more control over your environment, which is important for speedruns. Anyway, right at the start of Disorganized Crime, when Vincent gives you the locations of the 2 vans, ignore them entirely. Instead, use this path I'm showing right here on screen. It has all 3 warehouses marked on it, and you just have to drive top to bottom. Start with the topmost warehouse, which is going to be right here near the La Mesa flyover, the one that looks like a kidney, and if you don't find it there, you can head straight down towards the industrial area for the second warehouse. And again, if you don't find it there because you're extremely unlucky, then simply take this alleyway through the Frigid facility and head straight for the 3rd and final warehouse. I got lucky and spawned the warehouse right at the top of the map, but even if you get the 3rd spawn, which is the farthest one, it'll still be faster than following the vans. Once you're inside, equip a silence gun, anyone, it doesn't really matter, and pop these 2 guards near the entrance. Then work your way towards the security room. You'll have to kill 3 more guards here and destroy the camera. But once inside, wipe all the CCTV footage, grab the drill, and kill these 2 guards who are patrolling this platform right here. Then what you need to do is go into the second room, which is where you'll find your key card. Kill the 2 guards inside and start drilling. The sound of your drill will attract more guards. You want to kill them and continue on with your work. Just make sure to leave 0 witnesses if you want the stealth approach to track. Once you find that key card though, head outside, sabotage all the trucks, and drive that flatbed back to Vincent's lockup to complete the mission. If you don't get the flatbed, it means you messed up and now you're locked into the aggressive approach, which again might actually be more fun for you depending on how you like to play. I do like playing the aggressive approach, but we're trying to speedrun this, so stealth it is. And even with the lowest tier loadout, you'll have no trouble completing this heist on aggressive mode because the compact rifle is simply very good, and Cluckin Bell is definitely one of the easier like high tier missions and high tier heists, which means you really only deal with 2 to 3 enemies at a time, and they're not A tier enemies either, so you'll have plenty of time to take aim and land headshots. If you're having trouble on controller though, simply switch the assisted aim full setting rather than partial aim assist, and it will carry you through the rest of the mission because you have full and complete overpowered aimbot. Alright, once you're in the Cluckin Bell warehouse with the stealth approach locked in, you'll have suppressors pre-equipped. Since we have the Marabunta Grande loadout, use the combat pistol to drop these 2 guards, then shoot the fuse box to open the door. Here is where you're going to find a corridor with 6 guards, so take your time and line up your headshots for each one of them since you have a low damage semi-auto, and if you go for the chest, you might trigger the alarm. Take your time, get your headshots, and head into the first storage area. Grab your Coca-Cola, kill these 2 guards who are standing near the conveyor belt, and head into the second storage area now. The remaining Coca-Cola is usually located in the crates that are to the rear of the room, usually on the left and right sides, so check rear left, as well as rear right. Then the central crate. You should now have all of your Coca-Cola, so get out and grab the office keys from this table. Then clear a path forward in silence. Open the door and the game will task you with finding the combination for the office safe. This is really simple. There are 4 computers in total, and you'll know when you have the right one because your hacking device will turn blue when you're a bit too far, and it's going to turn green once you're standing right next to the computer. Red means you need to point somewhere else. Then enter the code, grab the contents of the safe, and head outside. Your getaway car should be nearby, but we don't actually use this to escape. Instead, what you can do is just drive back onto the road and call in your personal vehicle, then use it to get back onto the train tracks. However, I like to stay on the tracks because the game will sometimes give you really weird spawns if you call your vehicle from the road, and one time my Hakucho drag literally disappeared when I got rear-ended by a police cruiser, so yeah, not taking any chances here. I do like to drive out of the warehouse, turn right, and keep driving along these train tracks until I arrive at this log cabin right here. Then I'm able to call in my drag bike from the interaction menu, easy peasy. Once you have your drag bike, simply follow this path that I'm showing. When you arrive at this bridge near the Zancudo River, what you need to do is take a right and you'll land on this road in the Grand Sonora Desert. From here, it's basically the same path that we took to steal our getaway vehicle in the prep mission, but in reverse. Just drive over the hills and you'll definitely lose your 3-star wanted level in no time, then drive back to Vincent's lockup to complete the mission, and you're done. If you did everything right here, this whole heist should be over in 40 to 45 minutes. Maximum time. If you don't have the HSW Hakucho drag, the next best option for budget players is the Bati 801RR, which costs just $15,000. You can also use the Vigilante, which is going to be the safest and most offensive option by far with its homing missiles and bullet resistant windows, but I feel like it's totally unnecessary. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this guide, and make sure to drop a like on it if you found it informative. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and you want to see more GTA Online content like this. Feel free to check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv, and check out my YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, and TikToks where I upload short form, rapid fire tips, tricks, news, updates, guides, leaks, and more on GTA 5 Online. I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Adios, amigos.